Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, well, kind of like I did before, got a more or less random handful of Bronze Age, mostly Bronze Age. I think maybe they're all Bronze Age. DC Comics. Take a look at. Let's see one here that may be after the Bronze Age, but I'm not sure. I'll take a look. But it would look like it. Okay. And some of these I may have gone through briefly before, but not. I don't think. Well, only one of them. I think. No, I don't think I've even done that. Don't think I've done in depth in any of them. And of course, yes, most of these are fairly rough, especially these older ones, but they are completely readable, which is what counts. Which is what my primary interest in with getting comics is not to get the spend a fortune, get the most pristine, get them slabbed and preserved forever. My interest has always been to get something that is readable and something I will enjoy reading. So here we have, of course, 100 pages for 60 cents. My gosh, can you believe that? From Brave and the Bold, number 115. This was from 1974. Brave and the Bold, featuring Batman and the Atom in The Corpse That Wouldn't Die. And of course, as was right, this is some really good stuff. Art by Jim Aparo. We'll see something that he did many years later, and it's not as good as his work here. Whether that's because I think he inked his own on both of these, but this is just some great page layout. And it was a great story by Bob Haney, I think it said. And Bob Haney, featuring Batman and the Atom. Then it also, as often had, especially with these 100-pagers, then they would have a new primary story, and then back it up with some reprint stuff of mostly from the Golden Age, some Golden, some Silver Age. And I remember thinking at the time, well, that's kind of cheap. I'd rather read some new stuff, even though I've never read. But I had never read any of it, so it's all new stuff. As a Challengers of the Unknown. I think this was from like 1957 or something like that, with Bob Brown doing the artwork. Challengers of the Unknown, yeah. And it's funny because that is an almost exact recreation of or actually in that Bob Haney did in an issue of Superboy. Almost that exact panel. And Jim Brown, or Bob Brown, I think. And then we've got some, going way back, it's this Dr. Fate and Our Man. It's up against Solomon Grundy. Some great old-timey stuff. And then it's backed up with a story of the Viking Prince from the 50s. And I love the Viking Prince. Looking ahead to some of the big sword and sorcery stuff that came up later. Then we have Brave and the Bold again. This is number 114, so it's just a few issues later. No, that issue actually goes before this one. I didn't realize that. And so 114. So it's and this is Batman and Aquaman together. And again, it's kind of rough. This was just a few days ago. An accident happened, and the bottom half of the cover got torn off, and I had to tape it back together. And at least this one's got a back cover. The other one didn't have a back cover. And again, of course, Jim Aparo, Bob Haney, and Jim Aparo, and his great art. You can see why. And Jim Aparo had been doing both Batman and Aquaman previously. has a history doing both characters, and I love his Aquaman, his version of Aquaman as well. So he's probably my favorite Aquaman artist and my favorite Batman artist. So that's just great here. And then it has a backup for the reprint of a Teen Titans story from the 60s. Yeah, Teen Titans. Again, Bob Haney and Nick Cardy. That's some really neat stuff there. Again, from the Silver Age. And then this is Green Arrow and John Jones. So it's the green and the green. So that's fun. That's fun. It's a long story. And then Aquaman and Aqualad. Oh, this is art by Jim Mooney. Oh, this goes way back in the 61. Wow, that's cool. I'm talking too much. Then here we have another 100-pager, but this is Action Comics number 443. This is from 1975. Superman unleashes the world's greatest action heroes. Some great stuff. Plus 9 of the deadliest supervillains. Oh! And he's just ripping it open, and it, of course, is a new story. Cool new story. Clark Kent superhero. I think they had another similar story that I saw not too long ago. It was different, but it was similar. Superman, written by Elliot S. Maggin, who did a whole lot of comic book writing, especially for Superman, and he wrote 2 Superman prose novels. Art by Kurt Swan and Tex Blaisdell. Edited by the great Julie Schwartz. Some fun stuff. And it's got all kinds of other characters. And then we go to some other. The Sea Devils. I have very little knowledge of the Sea Devils. Mostly stuff that I've read here. I've got an issue of Sea Devils that I plan on covering here in the next few weeks. And some really nice stuff. The Sea Devils. Russ Heath. Magnificent Russ Heath art. Of course, he's probably better known for his war comics, especially Sergeant Rock. Did Sergeant Rock for many years. Then it switches, and we got a Western. Yeah, a Western story. Revolt in Painted Canyon with Matt Savage, Trail Boss. With art written by Gardner Fox. And I just showed some of his sword and sorcery stuff not too long ago. His novels that he wrote. And art by Gil Kane and Joe Giella. And then we go to Adam Strange. Always like Adam Strange. This was Carmine Infantino. And Murphy Anderson on Hawkman. Reprinting some Hawkman stuff. Some great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, here we go. Is Wonder Woman number 202. Diana Prince. Wonder Woman. You'll never forget. Fangs of Fire. And this was in that period when Wonder Woman had no superpowers. And she was primarily Diana Prince, and she was learning martial arts from her blind mentor, I Ching. But this is with her against Catwoman, and they are catapulted into another universe of sword and sorcery, featuring Fafhrd. This was the introduction of Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser. I've done a couple episodes on those too, on them. With this art by Dick Giordano. Some really nice stuff. And so it's action and fantasy, and it does know what it wants. And then it has an ad here in the back for the first issue. Where is it? Somewhere in the back. Yeah, there it is. An ad for the first issue of Swords of Sorcery. Sword of Sorcery. But here's a title, Swords Against Sorcery, which is Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser from Fritz Leiber. Here's another Wonder Woman. This is number 240, and this one takes place, and I like this one too, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, and Dick Giordano doing the cover, but the interior art is Jose Delbo and Joe Giella. And this is during the time, that period, when Wonder Woman was on TV, and in the first season, she was in World War II, and this is an issue following along with that, with Wonder Woman in World War II. then here's just a short time later, number 245, Wonder Woman number 245. That was 240. And at first glance, you think, well, maybe this is the same deal. But no, it's not. It's not. It's Wonder Woman in contemporary times. And she's kind of a spy type here. Or working with Diana Prince, who's a spy type here. Still, Joe Giella and Clem, no, wrong one. Jack Harris did the script, wrote it. And Jose Delbo did a fine job with Vince Coletta doing the inks. And Jose Delbo, probably better known for his work at Charlton Comics and Gold Key Comics, especially doing some Western stuff. Geronimo Jones and Billy the Kid at Charlton. Then here we have Wonder Woman number 288. Wonder Woman is busting loose. The sensational new Wonder Woman. Touch up. Some good action here. The Roy Thomas and Gene Colan is the artist. And he worked on Wonder Woman for a time, and he did some really marvelous stuff there. Almost everything Gene Colan did was marvelous. And here we go to Batman. Actually, it's Detective Comics, Batman in Detective Comics. Two of them, 631 and 632. Now, this one is from 91, so it's well after the Bronze Age. Yeah, no exception. But some really cool action, illustrative cover illustrations like these. I can't make out who did them. But the interior art on both these is Jim Aparo. Oh, so it's Mike DeCarlo who did the inks. So that might be why, because his Jim Aparo stuff just does not look as sharp here as it did in the other stuff, and that might be due to the inker. I can't say, but these two issues together make one story. So maybe one of these days I'll do an in-depth on these two issues and that storyline, because this features the Golem from Jewish mystic history and mysticism. And then we finish this up with an issue of Supergirl number 7. This is from 1973. Yeah, it goes way back. The sinister snowman, is abominable snowman, and both Supergirl and Zatanna are after the abominable snowman, the Yeti. Oh, and I think I've shown this one briefly once before, but not in depth. And it looks like it's a lot of fun. So that's what I had to share with you this time, folks. There's some Supergirl and some Wonder Woman. I even had some sword and sorcery and fantasy. And lots of good fun. Even had Catwoman in there. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Any of these that you think I would like to see a more in-depth on, let me know in the comments down below. And remember, comics are art.